All right. So, Hawkeye, episode 4. Title of the episode is called Partners, am I right? That's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it's a callback to One Division.
Is it?
Yeah,
What
remember
part of
when
WandaVision?
when she says Mondays, am I right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, anyway, we're going to do a One Division episode soon, but yeah, it's kind of a callback to that. Lots of stuff happening. I feel like this episode is probably the best, but we only have 2 more, which sucks.
Yes, it's weird. It seems like they're going to be
Yeah.
wrapping things up really fast.
Real
at the end here.
fast. Real fast. It's like, it's
Yeah.
like I'm going to miss this when it's over. I really am. I'm starting to
Yeah.
feel like Loki now with this. It's not as good as Loki, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's This episode was tight. It was good. It was really.
Yeah, it was good. It was
So
good.
let's do a breakdown. What happens this episode? So I forget. Okay.
Oh, what happens?
They're in the
Stuff.
house, and the swordsman, aka Jack, so whatever his name is,
Jacques Duquesne.
yeah, puts a sword to his neck, to Clint's neck, but then it was like, hey, it's an Avenger. And then everybody, the mom and Jaquan, and I think his name was Jaquan, and then Kay, they're all sitting around talking. Did you think it was odd that Hawkeye was like, yeah, your daughter and I are working on Avengers stuff? And like what do you do if like your daughter is like 20 and she's like, I'm working with an Avenger to solve a case? Like what kind of case?
Mm-hmm.
Like what it's just weird.
Well, he said it. It sounds weird because it is.
Yeah.
So.
And then I know on Twitter you said that you think that the mom's the villain. How do you feel? Do you still feel that way?
Yeah. I've been thinking that for a while. So in the first episode, I guess that's where she has a argument with Jack Duquesne's uncle, Armand Duquesne. And when I was watching that, I couldn't really hear what they were saying, to be honest. And Kate doesn't understand what they're saying either. She can't really hear it that much. She just knows that they're having a argument, and she asked her mom, "Is that guy threatening you?" But I went back and watched it again with subtitles on.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and heard what their conversation was. And
what were they
sounds
saying?
like, well, Armand was after her about something. He was like, "Hey, I know what you're doing. What you're doing is not right."
Mm.
I'm not quoting verbatim, but he was on to her about something. He was gonna either like reveal publicly what she'd been doing, or like go to some kind of authorities or something like that. But that's what it was about, and she wasn't having it.
Interesting. And then of course the uncle gets stabbed to death with, I guess, a sword. I guess there's potential that the boss, the boss of this is going to be her. But like, so I'm still thinking about last episode with Echo, and
and like in this episode, to continue that whole thing. So like the first episode, I think if you go back and watch that conversation she has with Armand, you'll be like, okay, yeah, no, her mother's a villain.
Wait, what conversation?
The conversation she had with Armand.
Yeah, okay.
Kate was like walking him around.
Yeah.
In this episode, when she's walking Hawkeye out of her apartment, Eleanor says, "So you're going to drop the case, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "No, I'm not going to do that. But what I can do is
make sure she doesn't get hurt.
Your daughter will be safe."
Yeah. And then of course she makes that phone call.
Yep, she makes a phone call. So that's like piling on. Now maybe they're throwing us off the trail, but definitely seems like that's more evidence that her mother is a villain.
She's something like, so if she's like a big power broker or something. What I was thinking in that scene or the phone call is, we know that Yelena is going to show up, which she did this episode, which was awesome. So the key question is, how in the world would Yelena know where Hawkeye is? And the answer is someone had to kind of tip her off. And so my thinking is that Yelena made a phone call to what's her face, that Julia Dreyfus plays. What's her name?
Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Val?
Yeah, Val. I forget. Hang on.
It's a really long name. There's no way you're going to be able to remember it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm Googling as fast as I can. Okay.
Some people call her Val.
Yeah, her name in the comics is Valentina Algalarega de la Fatina.
Right.
Valentina, Latina. Okay, so
I don't know. So you think she was calling her? I think she's calling the true head of the tracksuit mafia, which might be Kingpin or somebody else.
It could be. She could make that phone call, but here's my thinking. Okay, her like A equals B, which is a phone call equals some kind of action, right? So we don't see an action from the tracksuit mafia side because like Hawkeye and Kate break into Maya's apartment to get the watch, which we need to talk about. But we do see Yelena show up. So my thinking is that has to be A, she makes a phone call, and then B, Yelena, which means that someone connected to Yelena, got like pointed her in that direction equals Val. It just makes sense to me. And like both women, Val and Elena Bishop, are both in the same kind of like categories, like kind of Eleanor Bishop. They're both in the category of kind of rich, so that could be it too. So I mean, we don't know yet.
Maybe
that's my thinking because Yelena had to show up somehow.
I think Yelena already had, like, she already was tracking Clint, and she knew he was in New York.
But how come she just started? How come she attacked him right then? She could have attacked him.
Opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my theory is better, but I don't know why you're so. I don't know why you're so against my theory.
I'm not against it. It just doesn't. I feel like that phone call is going to pay off in another episode, not this episode.
All right. Okay, that's fair. All right. But we do get Yelena, and we do get an amazing fight scene. But let's back up and go to the next part. The LARPing comes back up. So let me ask you a question, okay? We get a cool scene where they spend Christmas together, and they kind of the Clint Kate relationship starts fleshing out. I thought that scene was good.
Yeah, I thought that was actually good. That's where they actually started developing some chemistry between the two.
And you can see, you can see that Clint's starting to become more comfortable with Kate kind of being a part of this. And then he sends her on a mission to go get Arrow. Like, I don't understand. That cop broke the law. Like, you can't just get evidence out of an evidence locker. Like, you can't do that. Even for
it was just light evidence tampering.
Is it a crime?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't do. If you're a cop, you can't do that.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
Don't
all right.
Naive.
Yeah, okay. It's just fine. Yeah, it's just fine for cops to break the law. I guess in America's break the law, cops. That's fine.
I mean, they're doing it for the greater good.
No, I guess so, but still, it was too easy. Okay, it was way too easy. I didn't see it really any kind of.
I did think that scene was a little weird. Just because
the LARPing in Central Park.
No, that's not weird. That's normal. But Kate doesn't, like, she says, okay, yeah, I'll do it. But she never asks what they want.
Yeah.
And then she, fist pounds that one dude as if they had just had the conversation about what it is they want and they're going to get it.
Yeah, I guess they wanted her to participate in their LARPing.
Well, they didn't really agree on something apparently until they're back in the LARPer's apartment.
Yeah.
And then they agree on materials for costumes.
Well,
weird.
That scene set them up to get the costumes that they've been talking about. So if you look at the previews, Clint and her are wearing some costumes. Actually, if you look at the IMDb, they're wearing them in the poster or whatever. So they're going to get purple costumes by the end of this, which is I think kind of interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool. And so then so we get that, we get the trick arrows, and then they go to the apartment to break into it. And so, do you know what this watch is about?
I do not. I have a theory, but
whose watch is it?
Okay, so here's what Clint says about the watch. He says, someone that he knows identity is attached to the watch, and it can blow their cover. The only person I can think of that makes sense is that it was Ronan's watch.
He was Ronan.
I know.
But she knows he's Ronan. He wouldn't lie about that to her.
Yeah, but was he just like speaking in code because other people could be overhearing what they're talking about?
I don't think so. Let's list
off. Who else could it be? Whose identity is attached to a Rolex?
Let's list off every character who could have been in the Avengers compound. Let's just list them all.
Okay. All right.
Tony Stark. Wait. So if their identity is compromised, that means their identity is a secret?
Yes.
Whose identity is a secret? Although
Spider-Man, but Spider-Man is not walking around with a Rolex.
No. And the rest of the Avengers are known. We all know who the public knows who they are.
Does the public know who Hulk is?
Yeah.
Do they?
Remember in Endgame, he was walking around eating at a diner. He was eating at a diner. It's full Hulk.
But do they know that's Bruce Banner?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who could it be then?
It has to be someone that we know, that we've recognized, or when we see it or hear about it, we'll be like, it's him, cool, or her.
This is why I go back to maybe it's Ronan again.
No, it can't be Ronan. It can't be that.
Okay, so if it's not Ronan, how does Clint's wife know about the Rolex?
Well, apparently
why is she worried about the Rolex being out on the loose?
Well, apparently she and they share kind of his work stuff. Remember, she was speaking German. She was helping find information.
She's got access to some kind of a system that she can look up.
So she knows,
get info about Stolen Out Limited.
She knows all that kind of stuff. So,
but still, it seems like a Rolex coming out of the Avengers compound. That seems like deep information about the Avengers for the wife to know about.
She knows.
Unless it's Ronan's.
No. We already have him searching for the costume and the knife and stuff. It doesn't make any sense for him to kind of do a head fake about the watch too, and not tell Kay it's his watch. That wouldn't make any sense.
Can you come up with somebody that does make sense?
Just because your idea doesn't make sense, but you said it, doesn't mean that I have to come up with an idea to dispute.
I still think you have to come up with an idea.
Okay, so I'm going to think of it as I'm a writer trying to prep for a special cameo appearance for someone. It's going to be somebody that we recognize from either the movies or the episodes. So it's going to be somebody that we know. So and the watch.
All right, I've got another one. Then. Yeah, it's Daredevil.
But he's never been in the Avengers compound.
How do you know? Why wouldn't he be?
Because we haven't seen him in there yet.
Oh, that doesn't mean he hasn't been there.
Oh, that'd be so bad for them to say, "Oh, hey, Daredevil, here's your watch." Oh, thanks. I was at the Avengers compound, but I didn't tell anybody. No one saw me. It could be Ant-Man. Could be Ant-Man. Could be Ant-Man.
I don't see Ant-Man the Rolex.
It could be Hank Pym's.
Could be, but who cares? Like, who cares if his identity's known?
Well, whoever it is, it's going to tie into some Black Widow stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see. We don't know whose it is yet.
Yeah, I still think it's Ronan's.
Okay, write that down.
I think it's weird that it's Ronan's.
You think it's Clint?
I still think it's Ronan's.
Clint was Ronan, so you think it's Clint's.
Well, like everything at this black auction was in the "Hey, I'm Clint Barton" basket. The Ronan suit, the Ronan sword, the Ronan Rolex.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
They were all in one basket, and the guys took that basket and put it in the black auction.
Let me ask you a question. You are working on this episode. You already have Clint searching for 2 items. Why is the watch a special item of his, and why do we care as a viewer if we've already seen 2? Like that watch, has to have some kind of significance. Okay,
here's an even more important question: why was the Tracksuit Mafia after the watch in the first place?
Someone has hired them to get it.
Okay,
and that's it. So Maya has it. So there's a reason for it. We don't know. We won't know.
And here's another thing that makes me think the Rolex, which doesn't make sense to be Ronan's, but I think it is Ronan's.
Clint is Ronan.
Is because right next to the watch were notes about Clint's identity and his family. As if the identity which is tied to the watch has already been discovered, and they're like, "Oh, Ronan is Clint," and let me find some information about his family.
All that's true. That's some lazy writing, and it's not telling us anything. We have to make some huge leaps.
Yeah.
So if it is true, I'll be super disappointed. I'll be like, ugh, I know. But we'll have to.
I'm prepared for it, but yeah, I I hope it's someone else's, but
it's going to be somebody. It's going to be somebody that when we see whose watch it is, we're going to be like, "Wow, cool." But if it's Clint's, we'll be like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever. Who cares?" Like it's going to be such a letdown. Like that MacGuffin needs to have some significance, and if it doesn't, then why the hell is it in there? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All right, we get the fight scene. I'm going to lay down the fight scene from beat to beat. So, when Kate sees the list, Maya starts attacking her. Kate is totally under leveled for this. She's getting her butt kicked, of course. Like, there's no way at Kate's. She's lucky she didn't get killed in that apartment. And then Hawkeye is fighting someone. We don't know who it is, but we do know who it is. She's wearing a mask, and they're fighting. Then Hawkeye shoots a zip line towards Kate. Kate zips through it. Kind of comedic. She gets stuck because she's doing a hero moment, zip line, then she gets stuck, and then it shakes and she slips down. So then she's like in a middle, and then Maya swings over, and now we get a really cool fight scene between Kate and Maya, and then a secret assassin who we know it is, but secret for now, and then Hawkeye. What were you thinking when you're watching all
that? I mean, it's a pretty cool fight. The main thing I was thinking is, why does Echo run off?
She got an arrow stuck in her shoulder.
Big deal. It's her shoulder.
Have you had an arrow stuck in your body?
Hey, I'm not Echo. She is determined to avenge her father's death.
If you're Echo,
she's after Clint Barton. She wants to avenge her father's death. I think she knows that Clint is running at this point. And what better chance? Right now, I mean, it's a crazy situation. I get it. There's 4 people on the top of a roof. They're all fighting. It's kind of crazy. But the other person there is fighting against the people you're fighting against.
Yeah.
You have a pretty good chance of taking them out.
Yeah, if you're Echo, okay, you've just got remember Yelena was also fighting Echo. She already electrocuted her a little bit. She's kicked her around, and then she gets an arrow stuck in her shoulder. So if you're Echo,
I feel like they could have turned that around.
If you're Echo, you have Kate already has another arrow knocked, and then the other assassin is fighting Clint.
Hey, did you notice that we're both fighting Hawkeye? Let's team up here a little bit.
Not gonna happen. Like I think Echo did a smart move. If I was in that situation, I would have left too, because she's already wounded and she has to fight her wounds and try to. No, it's no way it's gonna happen. And remember, Kate already has the arrow knocked. She was going to shoot her again.
Right.
So I thought that.
And then why does Yelena do the same thing?
Okay, I'll explain that in a second. So if you look at the fight scene, there was a scene where Kate gets thrown off the building and she's hanging on by a zip line, and then we've got Hawkeye grabbing the line and he looks down. Hawkeye's going through some trauma, and what I like about this episode is that if you're a normal human being and you were Avenger for a while, you did some crazy stuff with them, then you went time traveling with your best friend to outer space, and then you went to another planet, and then your best friend jumps off a cliff so you can get a magical rock to stop the death of half of every person in the universe. Like, you're going to come back and you're going to have a lot of trauma. And I like the fact that he's can't hear, he's hard of hearing from all that, but also he's emotionally hurt. We finally see and understand that what happened to Black Widow is really affecting him. And so he cuts the line and tells her to get lost, but then she shows back up. And of course, she tries to stop the fight again. But then we see that as Yelena, and Hawkeye's wounded. Yelena does have an arrow knocked, aimed at Yelena. She could have fired the arrow and probably hurt Yelena. I think that Yelena didn't want to deal with 2 people at the same time. And I think that if you had Clint, who's a capable fighter, he can easily go toe-to-toe with Yelena. And then you have Kate that's getting in the way. There's no way Yelena was going to win that fight, period. There's no way. And she knows that, and that's why she left. It was just toe-to-toe, Yelena versus Kate. Kate would be killed. But if it's like Clint and Kate versus Yelena, it's just like, if you're in a fight, there's no, Kate could do all kinds of things to distract Yelena from finishing the fight. So she had to leave. She had no choice.
And it felt weird to me. I felt like they needed to be in more peril or something at the time that they bugged out.
I mean, I can see that being fair, but it makes sense to me. I thought that fight scene was excellent. We should have had more fight scenes, but I thought that 4-way fight scene on the rooftop was just like pure joy. And what I liked about it is that Kate was just so outmatched. Like that was like she was barely hanging on the whole time. Like she was trying to fight the best she could, and like every time she did anything, it's just like she barely made it. And I was not on the Kate Bishop train. I like her now. I really do like her as a character, and I'm rooting for her now. I'm really rooting for her. I want to see the scene where she gets to like prevail. Like at some point, she's gonna have to fight Maya or Yelena again. She's gonna have to be able to go toe to toe with them. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's good stuff.
Right.
So at the very end, Clint says, "Beat it. I don't want you around because you're super young. You might get killed, and I have a Black Widow assassin on my tail. So get lost." What did you think? Do you think he did the right thing? Hello?
Probably, yeah.
If you're a crime fighter, would you hang out with a 20-year-old who has no idea what they're doing?
It's not going to work there. She's going to come back.
Of course. Yeah, we have to wait. Then we'll probably get one episode where they're split, and then the final episode they'll come back and they'll be like a team. Yeah, be fun. This will be fun. It's a predictable.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think the next episode's going to be them apart?
Yeah, for the entire episode. It's going to be one episode where they realize they need each other. So yeah,
okay,
100%. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, that's a classic storytelling beat, to let the reader or let the viewer down, make them like think that it's not going to work out, and then it works out, and you feel great. So yeah, of course.
Huh. Okay. What do you think happens with Yelena in the next episode then?
I think we will. So the next episode we'll probably see Yelena again. Maybe there'll be another fight with her and Clint, but it could be a scene where I don't know, but there's going to be a scene where Yelena realizes that Clint's not the bad guy, and then it's going to be probably Yelena, Clint, and Kate working together to defeat whoever they got to defeat.
I guess there's no way that Clint knows who Yelena is.
No way. He knows she's a Black Widow assassin, but he does not know who she is.
Right.
Well, you know what? He might. I mean, it's not unheard of for Natasha to have told Clint who she was. So maybe he did. Maybe he does know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm super stoked about the next 2 episodes, though. Especially if we see some. I was just complaining on Twitter how the fight scenes in these are not as good as they could be, and these fight scenes were great. 100% awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be doing lots of story or something in the next 2 episodes, though.
Yeah, you also should be prepared for, I don't know, like, this is nothing like the comics, so there's nothing going on, and that's interesting. The comics, so I'm reading the comics now. In the comics, Clint has some kind of bad relationship with women. He cheats on his girlfriend, and his ex-wife is like, kind of angry at him, and it's just like it's kind of bad. Clint's sort of unstable in the comics, and this Clint in the show's way better. I like Jeffrey Renner's Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye a lot better. He's more of a person I want to hang. Yeah, he's more of a person I want to hang out with. 100%. But it is what it is.
When do you think Uncle shows up? Last episode?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's probably gonna be the last 2 minutes of the episode. Like it's going to be like the chair's going to turn around and it's him. Yeah, we're not going to see him.
it's Kingpin stroking a white cat.
I hope so. I'll be really disappointed if it's not Kingpin at this point. Yeah. Are you still on the anti-Kingpin train?
I mean, I don't like the actor Vincent D'Onofrio, but
did you watch Daredevil season 1, 2, and 3? Have you always asked you that?
I watched all 3 of those when it first came out. And my son and I are going through season 1 right now.
All right, well, I won't.
He just overacts. I just don't like the way
I won't disagree with you too much. Do you have any comic questions for me? I didn't even have.
I do. I have a few.
Kill me. Kill me.
All right.
Kill it.
At the beginning, when we've got Clint, Kate, Eleanor, and Jack at the dining table.
Yes.
Kate refers to Clint as CB1.
Yes.
And Clint says, "Nobody calls me CB1."
Yes.
Is that a reference to a comic book?
No.
Okay.
It's just funny. It's just really funny.
All right. Let's see what else we've got here. There was another reference to Thanos was right in this episode.
Where?
Did you catch that?
No.
The coffee mug that Clint has in Kate's aunt's apartment.
It says that?
Says Thanos was right on it.
Oh, I gotta go to Amazon right now. I must purchase that coffee mug. Okay. I was trying to read it. I was like, what's it say? Oh, that's great. That's not in the comics. Remember, Thanos is totally different in the comics.
Yeah. I figured that wasn't from the comics, but it's a cool reference. That's 2 episodes that has had Thanos was right in it.
You know what? I bet if you look through every episode, you'll see that reference in every episode.
That's what I was going to say. I wonder if it's in every episode.
You should look for it.
Yeah. Our listeners should let us know if we've missed it in the other 2 episodes.
Yeah, listeners, if you've seen it, please tell us where it is.
Yeah, we saw on the urinal that Clint was at in first episode.
Yeah, the MCU is really in love with Thanos. Like, they can't really get away. Like, he's referenced in the Eternals and all kinds of places. Like, I don't understand why. Like, he's a big deal, but ain't that big a deal. Like, it's just kind of weird. Anyway, hit me. Give me some more.
Boomerang arrows.
This is actually funny. That conversation was almost verbatim in the comics, but it was kind of reversed. Like, so when Kate says boomerang arrows, and he's like, "Why do you need boomerang arrow?" In the comics, Clint was saying that. So Clint was trying to argue why boomerang arrows were good, and Kate was like, "Why do you need this arrow?" So it's really funny. That was cool. That was really cool.
Did he have boomerang arrows?
He did, and he used them.
He did.
Yeah, there was a really cool episode where he shoots it. No, Kate shoots it, and it comes back and hits the bad guy, and he's like, "See, boomerang arrow." You know, it was really funny.
Okay. All right. So the cop that goes and retrieves the arrows.
Yes.
She has a duffel bag with her that has her nickname inscribed on it, and it says Bombshell. Is Bombshell a character from the comics?
I'll have to do an immediate, very quick search. I don't think so. Do you think so?
I have to think that there's got to be some kind of reference there.
Okay,
I mean, they called it out and everything.
She's in the database. Her name is Wendy Conrad, and oh my God, the character in the episode's named Wendy.
Yep, that's Wendy, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. She's in the comics. She's in Hawkeye #3 in 1983. She's from an old Hawkeye episode. Hawkeye.
Is that her only appearance?
No, she's been in several different things. Yeah, she's been on a lot.
Do you think that's the end of it, or do you think they're gonna carry her forward somehow?
There's no way they're going. You know what her superpower is?
No.
Juggling, Mike. She juggles. It says here, Bombshell is not only a great
bombs.
No, listen. She says not only Bombshell is not only a great juggler, but also an expert explosives, including creating, preparing, or diffusing any explosive object. Yeah, she juggles bombs, Mike. She juggles bombs. That's the thing. So no, I don't think she's going to be the new superhero fan character. She's not going to get her own episode. Okay, we're not going to see Wendy like juggling bombs. Okay.
She could have been in the they're doing a spinoff of Hawkeye, Echo.
Yeah. Okay, Mike. I love you, brother.
I'm not saying that she's gonna be. I'm just saying.
You need to let Wendy.
I'm trying to find a spot for Wendy.
We need an award. We need an award. We need an award. Mike, what's your last name again?
I don't know.
Okay, what's your middle name?
Mike.
Mike's your middle name. What's your first name?
It's also Mike.
Okay. How about you get the Mike Award.
What are
Mike.
you talking about?
I was trying to name an award. You get the Mike Award, Mike.
That should be the Bombshell Award.
Okay,
what are you talking about?
The new award is called when you pick a comic reference in these shows and movies that I haven't picked, you get the Bombshell Award. I'm writing it down.
Okay, you should be very proud of me.
I am.
I got this one.
I am. Yeah. I did not get that reference at all. Did not care, but you got it. You get the Bombshell Award.
Nice.
Do you want to make a speech?
No, I think we're good. I the results speak for themselves.
God.
You
Who
know,
created her is Mark Greenwald. He's the guy who shepherded who took care of the Arrow series back in CW days.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so weird. What a weird reference. What a weird reference. Bombshell. Get out of here. Okay. Next.
Yep. All right. Here's the last one I've got.
Okay.
During the rooftop fight scene,
Yes.
Kate comes back. She launches an arrow. It has some kind of crazy effect. What is that arrow?
It's like I guess a concussive blast or something. Yeah. I'm not sure what the arrow is.
Yeah, it seemed like it was more special than that. Had a really weird effect on people. A big flash, of course, but then it felt like almost like it was some kind of magnetic or something. I don't know.
Maybe an EMP, like a concussive blast or something like that. That could work.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a cool trick. I thought that was a really cool trick arrow.
Yeah, I figured that's probably one of the more dangerous arrows that he told her not to use during the car chase earlier.
Mm-hmm. It was cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Great, good job. What would you rate this episode?
I don't know. What do you think?
So if you look at episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, which one's the best so far?
God, I kind of think the last one actually.
Yeah, 100%. The fourth episode.
That fight scene in the KB Toys, the abandoned KB Toys, was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think this was way better.
Yeah,
100%. There you go. All right, we got 2. It's sad we only have 2 more episodes left. It sucks.
Right. Yeah, and then what's next after that? Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, we have a lot to work on. Our calendar, we have in-game. We're doing in-game soon. Spider-Man. Yeah, well, is Spider-Man? Are we doing Spider-Man before in-game?
I don't know. When's Spider-Man come out? Comes out on the 17th.
Next week, man.
Jeez.
It looks like we're doing in-game. My calendar says in-game, but we're going to have to do Spider-Man.
We might be doing Spider-Man instead.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We gotta do Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out a way to go watch it.
Yeah. So I was kind of wondering if we were going to see Daredevil and Hawkeye.
I just don't.
With that very clever interview that Kevin Feige did recently, but I guess it's going to be in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm glad you brought that up because guess what time it is, Mike?
What time is it?
It's time for news you can abuse.
Abuse.
Yes, very good. First up, Daredevil is for sure coming to the MCU, and Charlie Cox is for sure going to play him. That has been all but confirmed. He said, the guy, Kevin Feige said, Kevin Feige, whatever his name is.
Feige?
How you pronounce it?
Kevin Feige?
Yeah. He said that if there was going to be Daredevil MCU, Charlie Cox would play him, which means, they're bringing him back.
And then he says, when that's going to be remains to be seen.
We know it's going to be. It's going to be
And the co-producer of the Spider-Man movie giggles when he says when that's going to happen.
Yeah, this is the worst kept secret in Hollywood at this point. And to be honest with you, it makes complete sense that Kingpin would show up in Hawkeye because it's when Hawkeye sort of ends, then Spider-Man's going to be in theaters. People are going to see Daredevil. We're going to see Hawkeye. It's all going to link together. It's going to make sense. Right. Everybody's going to beg for a Daredevil series, which we will get. So
the Daredevil series on Netflix was so good. It holds up. Go back and rewatch it. Or if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. Yeah, it's really good.
So, Mike, would you
in spite of Vincent D'Onofrio,
would you want them to make those episodes canon and continue the story, or would you want them just to reboot and do something completely new?
Make those canon, continue the story.
I would want to see him in a better Daredevil outfit.
Okay, that's no problem. He can just upgrade his outfit. He's done that before.
Yeah.
My son loved that, actually. That was one of the things my son loved about the first however many episodes of Daredevil is every episode he would add some kind of new thing to his outfit.
In the first season. And then he has the whole outfit at the end of it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right, yeah. He's like, it's cool. He's upgrading his suit as the season progresses.
I mean, Charlie Cox is the perfect, if your idea Tom Holland is the perfect Spider-Man, Charlie Cox is the perfect Daredevil.
Without a doubt, yeah.
More news you can use. Doing that same interview.
And John Bernthal is the perfect Punisher, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. I didn't watch that series. Was that 2 seasons of that Punisher?
I think so.
I didn't watch either. I didn't watch
Not
either.
positive.
I didn't watch.
It was good.
It was it.
Yeah.
All right, and more news you can abuse. That same interview, Kevin Feige did announce, sadly, that Venom will be and is in the MCU. That's confirmed. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, whatever.
Is there any kind of redeeming qualities around that? What Kevin Feige said?
No, it's terrible. This is what it is. It's just, yeah. I kind of feel like Sony is really sticking it to Marvel at this point. Like Sony knows they have the right to Spider-Man and they won't give it up, but they're holding Marvel hostage. It's like, hey, Marvel, you have to use Venom in the MCU now, and like Marvel's like,
now, why is it that you don't like Venom being in the MCU?
Venom. Okay, the story of Venom is, give me 30 seconds. Can you count to 30?
Starting now.
All right. Venom is connected to Spider-Man. Then in the Secret Wars comics way back in the day, Peter Parker found the Venom suit, put it on, and then became like super Spider-Man with it, black suit. Then at some point, the black suit corrupted Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man realized that he took the suit off, and then Eddie Brock took the suit, and then he became Venom. And so it's a connection between Eddie Brock and Venom connected to Spider-Man. Without those connections, there is no point of having the relationship, and there is no point of having this Venom or Eddie Brock or any of that. And the current Venom has no connection to Spider-Man. It's all crap. How'd that do?
That was 29 seconds by my count.
Dude, yeah, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. You type this into Reddit, and everybody will agree with you. And I know it's a bunch of nerds on there, but that's fine. But it's like, it's true. Like, they messed up really bad with this Venom, and I don't know how they're going to fix it. No clue. Good luck. I'm not watching the Venom movie.
I've seen other people that agree with you. Yeah,
I'm not watching the Venom movie. Not the way it is. I think it even looks gross. Like when I look at it, I'm like, this is not appealing. This is not like it's like you watch these kind of shows to have the hero fantasy. Where is my hero fantasy? To have a big black thing over my body that's weird?
Well, wasn't it kind of a neat and tidy like black Spider-Man outfit in the comics?
Dude, the black Spider-Man outfit is classic. It's beautiful. It's awesome. And Venom is gross, and that's fine. But the Venom in the movies is just dumb looking. It's just, I don't understand it. And I blame the kids. I think the Zoomer and those young kids don't understand anything, and they'll just watch anything and think it's great. It's your fault. Become more critical, young people. When I was your age, I hated everything. Get with it.
Yeah. So it is the black Spider-Man suit. That's Venom, right?
The one in the comics, yes. The one you see in the movies, absolutely not.
In the comics, okay.
I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to fix it. I don't know.
Wasn't there? There was in the recently teased Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Part 2. Wasn't there a black Spider-Man suit in that?
I'm glad you brought that up. This is not in the official news you can abuse, but when we put this in news you can abuse, they did release a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Part 1, a whole new thing, Spider-Man Into the Multiverse. And if you watch the trailer, which was awesome, you saw that Miles Morales got attacked, but he was attacked by Spider-Man 2099 or a version of him. So it's a little different. It's much different, actually. So.
Who was Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah, back in the day, I think the 90s, probably about 1995 or 6, I think, Peter David wrote a comic called Spider-Man 2099 where something happened to all the superheroes in 2099. Nobody, like before 2099, nobody knows where, but the Marvel universe didn't have any superheroes in that future. But then this guy became Spider-Man by accident, and he kind of ushered in a new age of heroes in the year 2099. He's a fan favorite. There's a lot of differences for this Spider-Man. This Spider-Man has claws, like physical claws on his fingertips. So those claws
kind of like Wolverine.
No, it's like cat claws. So if you have cat, he can use those to climb. He has eyes that can see really well. He's pretty strong. He's pretty good. He's a fan favorite, and so I'm curious to see what they do with him in the new animated series. It's gonna be good.
How is this not in the official news you can abuse?
It is now. It wasn't initially.
I feel like I almost deserve another Bombshell award. I feel like.
No, Bombshell awards are specifically when you find a comic reference that I missed.
Right. Okay. All right.
Finally, we are getting a Shang-Chi sequel. Like, we didn't know that, but it's official. We are getting that. I'm excited.
Anything else about that?
No, the director who directed the first one is directing the second one.
Cool. Okay. Awkwafina's going to be in it.
Nobody's been confirmed.
Okay.
But you should assume. I mean, I'm excited about Shang-Chi sequel.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. That's it. That's all the news you can abuse.
That's it?
That's 4 things.
Okay.
Do you have any news you can abuse?
Well, I mean, I already did the Spider-Man one.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, you get a Bombshell award for that. Congratulations.
You said no. You said
well. There you go. Well, it's a special one. Okay. So, Mike, how can people this Christmas? How can people give people the gift of our podcast? How can you gift our podcast to people for Christmas?
That is a great question, and it's easy. Hit the share button right now. Share this podcast with your friends. You can hit share and you can write an email. You could write them out a nice happy Christmas email if you're Jay, or a Merry Christmas if you're me, or Happy Holidays, whatever you want to do. You could type out like a nice email just summarizing everything that you've been doing over the year. I watched Loki, love that, blah, 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 blah. Write them on a nice email and include the link by hitting the share button. This podcast.
Yeah. You also can you can print out special QR codes that link to our podcast somewhere and cut them up and put them in your Christmas cards.
Yeah, that's another great idea.
How fun would that
be? That's a good idea.
So your friends open the Christmas cards,
super fun,
and there's a QR code, and they scan it, and then they get a link to our podcast.
Everybody loves QR codes. Yeah,
it's
a great way to do it.
It's not.
What you could do is you could have a QR code that links people to our podcast as an ornament on your tree.
Ooh, I like that. That's good. Yeah, and then people are like, ooh, what's this QR code? They link to it, and boom. Yeah. Just share it.
If all of that's too much to you, just hit the share button and send it to your group chat.
Yeah.
You're probably planning a holiday party right now with a whole bunch of people. Just say, hey, you know what? While you're out running errands for this party, listen to this podcast. It's pretty good. They're talking about Hawkeye. I'm watching that. It's tons of fun.
Yeah, put it on social media. I mean, you're on social media right now because everybody is. Post it on Twitter. Post it on Facebook. Post it on Instagram. Share it so we take over the world.
Yeah.
Hey, when's our 50th episode? Do you know?
It's coming up soon.
We gotta do something special for that.
If this isn't it, then it's coming up soon.
Can you should count? Okay. We still have some special episodes coming out.
We do have a very special episode coming up. Which is our rankings episode.
Is that next week?
It's before the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this will be great. Can't wait.
It's gonna be exciting.
I can't wait to argue with you.
Yeah, I wonder who the listeners think we're gonna have as our best and worst movies.
So, listeners, you should send us your list of the top 25 MCU movies. So, we're going to list from Iron Man 1 to Endgame. So, all those movies. So, you have to tell us which one's the best in there. So, the best to worst. I have a potential list. I haven't started. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I haven't started either. I'm gonna do that.
It's hard. It's gonna be hard to do.